clenched fist symbol is an iconic design, so much so that it's listed in this book as one of the top 100 ideas that changed graphic design. But where did it come from? As the book states, clenched fist is a symbol of power, authority, or anger, and that whoever repeatedly uses a given symbol will usually end up claiming ownership. But as noted in this article, it's worth stressing that reuse of the raised fist over time and in different places and for different causes shows us that no single political movement or issue can actually claim ownership. That's actually why it's so powerful. So who used it first? Well, we don't know exactly, but we know that in around the 1910s, 1920s, it was a huge symbol in the labour movement, the pro-union movement, and as noted in this article, one of the earliest uses in the US specifically was when Big Bill Haywood used it in a speech to highlight the strength of unions, where he said, "Every finger by itself has no force, but together, look how strong we are." Then, as we move into the 1920s, 1930s, it was used in Europe as an anti-fascist symbol. In fact, one group even patented it, but everyone else used it anyway. And then all of these groups became one large coalition called the Popular Front, and the symbol was deemed a symbol of resistance against fascism, against Nazis. And as cited here in this article, one example in the UK, when these losers tried to march through the streets of London in the Jewish neighbourhoods, as many as 100,000 people stood shoulder to shoulder, fists in the air, and turned the fascists back. And then from the 1960s onwards, we see that the clenched fist is a black power and anti-racist symbol. For example, in the design of anti-apartheid posters by the Black Panther Party in the US, and in this iconic moment in the Olympic Games, also at the Million Man March in the 1990s, and more recently, particularly around 2020, the rise of the Black Lives Matter movement. And of course, this isn't an exhaustive history. We've also seen it as a symbol in the fight for LGBTQ+ rights, for women's rights, and still to this day, just like back in the 1910s, it is a common symbol in strikes and labour movements. And as we now move from Black History Month in the US in February to Women's History Month in March, this consistent use of the clenched fist as a symbol of power and resistance and social justice in various different forms is such a great reminder that our struggles are so much more connected than they are different. And we need to pay attention to the people who want to make us forget that.